Hello YouTube, this is Builder Barbie 1 and I am coming to you with a topic regarding sensitive skin and Faja Life. As you know, I am a Ferreras doll. Today is August the 2nd or the 3rd, depending on how you look at it. And I am almost 5 months post-op Mommy Makeover, Dominican Republic, with Dr. Ferreras. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the issues of wearing a faja with sensitive skin and in hot weather. Okay? I'm not certain how many people might be joining because I am going live at a very odd time of day. However, I'm hoping that enough people are here and we'll be able to catch it later because I will be saving this. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I have some people here. I don't go live that often, so I don't really know that much how to do this. But in any event, okay, so I am live and I want to discuss sensitive skin issues. As you can see, I do have on a corset, and under the corset, of course, I have on my dress. And I just dropped something on the floor. I have on my dress. I'm going to take off my dress. I have on my faja, my custom faja from Curvy Girls. And the one that I have on currently is the one without the bra. And what I'm going to do is show you what else I have on. Okay, I'm going to take off the part of the faja. Okay, and let's see. Taking off part of the faja, and I'm going to take the arms down. With the sensitive skin, I know that I figured that the straps have a set of hooks, 3 different sets on the bra strap. So it occurred to me that since I have a short torso, or I believe I have a short torso, I might work, it might be better for me to put my faja hooks on the shortest part. So that's what I've done. Now, as you know from maybe one of my other videos, I discussed the towel method. So here is my towel. Taking it off, and I have on my backboard. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer so we can talk a little bit. So we can talk just a little bit. Okay. Faja Life and sensitive skin. Okay, well, I will say that, when you're having different skin issues and wearing a faja, it makes remaining in the faja 23/7 a bit challenging. Okay, and if you follow me on YouTube or on Instagram, I generally, am positive and I try to remain positive about everything. And I do believe that words have creative power. So I do try my best to remain positive, speak positive, think positive, and encourage people as along my way. Well, and that's fine, and that is in fact true. The dolls that you see post a lot, maybe on Instagram, or make a lot of videos possibly on YouTube, are maybe some dolls who are having a recovery that isn't having too many issues. Now everyone's recovery is as individual as each doll. Um, you know, so I will say that. I've had some dolls reach out to me by way of DM and by maybe on Instagram or YouTube or what have you, to discuss the fact that they're having some challenges with their recovery and wearing their faja because they have sensitive skin. Now, I have sensitive skin, and you may remember I discussed in some of my other videos that I did have an allergic reaction to the tape the last 2 days in Dominican Republic because they ran out of the paper tape, and the tape that another doll loaned me caused me to have some irritation. And then my areolas began to weep. And, I was home, and so I couldn't wear the faja for a while. My surgeon, Dr. Ferreras, and my PCP communicated and prescribed me a cream that worked quite well, almost instantaneously. Okay, now, so I have sensitive skin. What do I do about the sensitive skin? Okay, normal everyday life, I use Dove soap. I wash my clothing with sensitive soap. I use sensitive dryer sheets, whatever like that. Even when I went to DR, I took the pods for sensitive skin so that they could wash my clothing with those pods, as well as the dye free dryer sheets. Okay, so um, let's kind of go back a little bit in time again. When I have been preparing for my journey intensely for about 9 months, meaning with my hemo, as well as getting myself together mentally, spiritually, financially, in every other way possible that one could think about. So I was mentally prepared for a Faja Life for like 6 months to a year. I knew that was going to be what it is. And just to kind of help me with that, what I did was I purchased some standard fajas to practice wearing fajas during the season that I would actually be having surgery and wearing my faja. So I did that, and during that time frame, although using the camisoles and what have you, I did find that my skin was sensitive and that I did have some irritation wearing the faja in the warm weather like that. So I figured that that would in fact be the case of me actually going through the surgery and it actually being in the warm weather. So with sensitive skin, some of the issues that you have a little bit more of an increased risk of faja burn. Okay, faja burn is a term that's used sometimes when the faja kind of rubs on your waist, around your waist and in your back, or it could be, in your abdomen area too. It can be there because the faja is compressing you, and some of that pressure does create that redness or dark coloring, or on our skin, and it tends to feel just like kind of like a burning sensation, um, and it is uncomfortable. Now, what I've done to try to alleviate some of that irritation is I have the Arnica gel along with the Benadryl cream, or diphenhydramine, which is a generic name for Benadryl, and I rub it together and I put it on my sides and I put it in the center of my back where the irritation is the most. Now, what I did is you see that I had on the backboard. The backboard is soft, so that it's somewhat firm, but it is cushioned, and that helps to prevent the faja from rubbing in the center of your back where you might have some irritation. So I, had this on, and I did feel comfortable with that. On my waist, I did have the towels, and it did help quite a bit. And the fact that I did, change the notches the strap of the on the strap, that did to help also. Um, Now, what do I do to try to compress or remain compressed? We'll talk about that. Now, I want to encourage dolls who are having a challenge wearing their faja, that sometimes we experience, everyone's journey is different. If you have sensitive skin issues, it's definitely a possibility that, um, hey, you're going to have some issues with wearing the faja. Now, your journey is individual to you, and do the very best that you can, not to compare yourself to anyone else. Okay. Try your best to remain focused on you and your journey, because that's all you can be accountable for. Um, so, um, many, there are a few dolls who have reached out to me, and they have expressed the fact that they do have sensitive skin, and they know that I've discussed it a little bit on YouTube and on my Instagram. So I thought it might be a good idea to go live on YouTube, in hopes that maybe some dolls might be on, and I could answer questions in real time, as well as I will save this. Hopefully, I'll be able to save it on YouTube, because I think the information is helpful. I did try to record this a little bit earlier as um, just as a YouTube video, but for whatever reason, um, it just wouldn't load. It wouldn't process. So I said, let me just go live and see if that will work that way. So, what happens when you have sensitive skin issues, and even though you're prepared for Faja Life 23/7 for 6 months, and you can't do it because your skin will not allow you to do it? Okay, this is what we have to remember. There are two things that you will hear regarding your journey from the all through it. One, listen to your body. That's one main thing. You have to listen to your body. Okay? Now, the other thing that you will hear a lot of is compression, compression, compression. Okay? So that's something else that's important. And the other thing is that you have to be committed to the Faja life. Okay, so those are things that we hear a lot. We try to become mentally and physically and emotionally prepared for that. And what happens when you find out that you are having this fiery burning sensation, maybe on your sides here and maybe on your back? And when you look at it, it may be bright red, or it may be a purple or a dark color. Um, what do you do? What do you do? Okay, you can't wear your faja at that point, because the sensation of the faja being on that area increases that fiery feeling. So you don't you don't want that. You don't want that. It's not good. Too much compression is not good either, because too much compression can cause a lack of blood flow to that area of the body. Okay, and if you have a lack of blood flow, what in turn can occur is what's called necrosis, or the death of the tissue in that area. So that's not something that you want. Okay, you don't want that. What you do want is the appropriate amount of compression to help you get that, you know, that silhouette that you're seeking. Now, if you're not able to compress 23/7 pretty much all through, it may take you a little bit longer to get to your quote unquote goal. Um, but you can in fact get to your goal. All right, it just may take you a little bit longer. And if you are have wish picks, many of the wish picks that we see happen to be vets. Those are dolls that have maybe had 2, 3, 4 rounds or more. And here we are with 1 round, wondering why we don't look like that, or why we don't feel like that, or what have you. Well, we have to take all of those things into consideration. So, if you're not able to wear the faja 23/7, you have to make adjustments. When I had some of the irritation in here from the tape and I couldn't wear the faja, well, I just couldn't wear it. I couldn't wear it. So I tried to maintain some compression by the waist belts like this to kind of hold me in, and that was helpful. The other thing that happened to me with my journey is I did order, I was measured for contour fajas when I was in Dominican Republic, and I did get 2 fajas when from them when I returned home. And they're a custom for me. And initially they worked out pretty well. Um, I did feel a little, compressed, in here, but it felt good because it was created for me. I then went on ahead and, had the first alteration of 2 inches, so I felt more snatched, and I looked more snatched. Then it began to feel loose again, so I went in for another alteration. So, I had them altered, and I then realized that I got a horrible faja burn or irritation here and here. So I had to stop wearing the faja. There was nothing that I could really do. I had that irritation, and then the legs on the faja it was cutting into my skin, where my legs were swollen, my feet were swollen, behind my knees were swollen, so much so till if I tried to go up steps or get in my truck, I had to physically lift my legs to get them in, and it hurt a lot. So what I did was I kind of snipped part of the faja to try to get a certain amount of relief and comfort, um, and it helped a little bit, but not a great deal. One of my friends, who's also a doll, she said, well, snip underneath where the faja connects to the part where it fastens, because she did that. And she said it'll make it a bit easier to get into, and you won't feel so uncomfortable. Because if you know, a lot of the fajas, when you try to put them over your BBL, they're very tight. You're struggling just to get it on there. And then by the time you get it, try to fasten it, you're already exhausted from trying to get it across here. Now, Curvy Girl's faja, by hers having, I believe it's the power netting here, and the way she has designed them, is you step into it almost like a pair of slacks, like a pair of pants, and then you're able to fasten it up. Okay, so that works out quite nicely. Now, for my journey, the things that I've had to use is, as I mentioned to you, wearing my faja with my backboard and the towels, or if I'm not able to wear the faja, wearing a waist trainer. Okay, this happens to be the short torso one from Curvy Gals. And this provides wonderful compression. The inside is cloth, so it's not like irritating to your skin the way it might be if it were, some other material such as latex. The other things that I also use to compress are these belts. Okay, I ordered these. Okay, this one is small, so I will put that on the upper abdomen in here. And then I have a medium that I will put a little bit lower. And that works out, pretty well to provide a certain amount of compression. You saw a little bit earlier where I had on the corset. The corset also does provide a certain amount of compression. And you can lace it, you pull the laces to gather it tighter around, around your torso. So, the way to that you compress is very individual to each doll because it depends on what your body can take and can deal with. Like I said, what I have found is, the methods that I just kind of mentioned. For my skin, what do I use? I use cocoa butter. Okay, I use this. And as I mentioned, the benadryl cream with the Arnica gel, I use that. And what I also use too are tablets of Arnica, which kind of helps with inflammation, pain, and swelling and stiffness. I also take biotin, the tablets. I take that daily. Now, biotin is for skin, hair, and nails. So I figure, well, hey, I have skin all over. Maybe the biotin might help with that so that it decreases maybe the irritation that I might be having. I don't have any scientific proof that that works, but it's something that I take every day. And, I in hopes that it will help me feel a little bit better so that I can be able to wear, my faja so that I can get the silhouette that I desire so much. And that many of us desire, which is why many of us, are on this journey. Um, Now, I see that I have some viewers, but I can't see if anybody has any questions or comments. I think you can type them in if you have any questions or comments. What I will say is do be encouraged if you are experiencing sensitive skin issues and you're not able to wear the faja 23/7. Some dolls are able to do it, some dolls are not. And don't take it as a defeat. Just take it as, hey, you're an individual and this is how your body is responding. Because you have to remember when you have surgery, your body has gone through a massive assault. Okay. If you've had lipo, if you've ever seen it, how the cannula is going. And then, if you have the tummy tuck, what have you, and then they cut you, and this and that, and so on and so forth. So you realize that your body has gone through a massive assault, and your body has to then now recuperate. So some of that itching and pain and different things that we feel, that's our nerves reconnecting and doing what they're supposed to do. Some of the other things that we experience, are just very individual to each person. But like I said, I do want to encourage as many as I can that embrace your journey. Just know that your journey is specific to you and that it's okay if you're not able to wear it 23/7. I do know that there are some dolls that they only wear from the time they were like 3 weeks to about a month. They only wore items kind of like this. They were not able to remain in the faja. And listen, sometimes that is what is in fact, you know, a person's journey. You have to listen to your body. You know, you discuss it with your surgeon and you listen to your body, because again, too much compression isn't good either. It's not good either. So you want to have an even medium of what is what. You know, sometimes we may look at a different doll who's able to wear the faja, um, but they may not tell you the different struggles that they're having. Um, you know, when I acquired the faja burn, when I took the, you know, had the faja taken in, the contour faja taken in, when I ended up putting the diaper rash cream on it, because that was something that I had bought pre-op, you know, just in case. And it was a just in case, and I, you know, used it. I do also know that Manuka honey is good, and I do have some of that. However, I didn't use the Manuka. I just happened to use the diaper rash cream. Um, you know, I just use that. Now, that works, you know, those work very well. Also, from what I understand, the aloe vera, that works too, if you have like one of those burns and your skin is, you know, from sensitive skin. Um, you know, but like I said, I just really want to encourage each doll, whether it's a Barbie or whether it's a Ken, just to be encouraged. Don't feel like you're defeated, or you know that there's something wrong with you, that you're not able to wear your garment 23/7. um you know, everyone is individual. You have to listen to your body, and you know what your skin feels like if you're applying a lot of compression, and if you're getting a rash, if you're getting the redness, if you're getting a lot of pain in here, or maybe in your back. You know, you have to back off of it. And sometimes a cool shower might help. Sometimes a warm shower might help. Sometimes, like I said, the benadryl with the arnica mixed together, you know, kind of helps. Um, you know, I know there was a time where I had lipo itch so bad. It probably was, I was about maybe 6 weeks post-op, and I had the lipo itch like you would not believe. And so I had my, you know, children's liquid Benadryl bubblegum flavor, and I took that 12 point, you know, 5 milligrams of it. I was, you know, okay, cool. And that worked, and, you know, it happened like around 10 o'clock at night. Not every night, but it happened. And then it was a little bit more intense another time, so then I took a full dose, which was 25 milligrams of the bubblegum flavored liquid Benadryl. Then another time, oh my goodness, I had the itch, the lipo itch was so strong till I took 50 milligrams of the Benadryl. I had the chewable grape flavored ones, and then I also had the regular flavored ones. So the regular capsule, I mean, I took 50 milligrams, and I had my trusty wood back scratcher. I scratched. I, you know, tried to get under the faja, tried to do this, tried to do that. So finally, I was like, you know what? I can't do it. I took the faja off, the foams, the everything, whatever it was on, I took it off. I took the t-shirt or everything was off. And I let my body just breathe, and, you know, and I was then able to sleep. And sleep is very important in normal everyday life, and definitely in recovery when you're recovering, because your body does some of the most healing when you're asleep. Okay? And when you're comfortable, you are better mentally as well as physically. So I went on ahead and I went to bed, and I didn't have the faja, nothing. Zero was on, okay? Zero. And I slept right here on my love seat, which I figured was probably the best place for me to be during my recovery. Being in my bed, I didn't think that was going to work out as well. Being on my recliner, I didn't think that would work out well. Having a tummy tuck, knowing that that muscle repair, that pulling that you kind of do when you're getting out of a recliner, that wouldn't work. So on the love seat, for me, it works out pretty well. Um, I have my legs elevated on this portion along with the pillow, and in the center I have my boppy where I can, recline. My BBL is, and then my head on the other portion of the love seat, and of course I have what do you call it, linen, on it, so that I'm comfortable in that way. So that night, I remember I made a post on Instagram about the itch. That it was like, oh my God. But guess what? I got through it. I got through it, and I realized that hey, everyone's journey is very, very individual, and being part of the surgery community is a help because you can reach out to your surgery sisters, and discuss maybe issues that you are having so that they can maybe be answered, or you can say, well, hey, I'm experiencing this and this is what I do and I find that it helps me. um so those are some of the things. Now, I can't tell if anybody has any questions, if there's any questions, anything, because I do see I have some viewers, which is great. And I'm sure somebody has to have a question. Mm, I'm waiting. What I will try my very best to do is save this live. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to address in this live. Um, Again, I just want to say, please be encouraged. Listen to your body. Don't compare yourself with anyone else. Know that your journey is your journey. It's your body. And even though someone may have had the same surgery, a mommy makeover, or whatever, or tummy tuck, or whatever, somebody may have had the same surgery as you. Their body is not yours. Their recovery is not yours. And you are very much an individual, and hold on to that. Don't compare yourself to anyone else at all. You'll get to your goal when you get to your goal. And it may take more than one round for you to get to where you want to be. You just keep in mind the time of year that you would be having surgery, and the weather that you would be recovering in, or should I say the temperature that you would be recovering in. Um, so those are things to kind of think about as well. I would say, you know, it's like I'm talking about some of the issues, whereas maybe there are some other dolls who have these issues, or maybe others, and they may not be vocal about it because maybe they don't want to sound as though they're whining or they're complaining or something. Um, and each to his own. I just feel like when we can share, that can be a help. It can be a help, because someone can be saying, well, why am I the only one feeling like this? What's the matter with me? And if you mention it to someone, they may be experiencing the same thing. They just had not said it. Um, and that's the thing, because sometimes people who post a lot, um, they may not be experiencing certain things. And sometimes when you see a doll has had surgery, and they may not be very active on Instagram or YouTube, it could be that they are experiencing some normal side effects, um, or that could occur from surgery, but they just don't want to talk about it. And that's fine too, because not everyone is, vocal, you know. Um, but like I said, I just wanted to encourage anyone who's having sensitive skin issues, not able to wear the faja 23/7, just to really, really be encouraged. Don't beat up on yourself. Don't try to force your body to do something that it is not ready to do. You can cause more harm to your body and your results than you want to. you know um, compression. This is true, but the other thing is you got to listen to your body. Again, too much compression is not good because it decreases the blood flow to that area. If there isn't any blood flow to that area is not getting any oxygen, and that tissue in that area could die. It could become necrotic. Where it can get black, and it dies. And you want healthy tissue. You want all of that good stuff. You want to just stay on the positive of end of everything. um well, I don't know if I can't see if anyone is asking any questions, and again, I apologize because I'm not well versed with live on YouTube. But if there is any questions, comments, or anything, you can leave it in the comments below. If there's a topic that you would like me to maybe discuss, you can leave it below. I would encourage you to please subscribe to my channel, to like my videos, especially if they've been helpful, to share my videos, because I may created this channel for my journey, and I'm sharing it with you. So you are part of my journey, and I am now part of your journey. And I hope that we can have an interactive conversation in the comments, where we can just kind of discuss some things. I will say house rules, be kind. um, but if you do have any questions or comments or possible suggestions for any other videos, please do let me know. Um, I decided, to kind of go live, kind of like the last minute when the video that I tried to record with the same content, it wouldn't load. So that's why I ended up going live, because I do feel that this is information that um, can benefit many, many, many dolls. Because today is August the 2nd or the 3rd, depending, and it's hot, and some dolls are experiencing issues with their skin and the weather. So, like I said, I mentioned some of the things that I find that are useful for me. If you find that there is something that you find useful, you can leave that in the comments below. If you have questions, leave those in the comments below, and I'll do my very best to answer questions that you may have, as well as, if I don't have the answers, to do some research or help you do the research to obtain the answers that you would be seeking. I do thank you for sharing in my live. I am very grateful for everyone who comes to my channel and views my videos, as well as leaves comments or asks questions. Even from my YouTube video, they end up following me on Instagram, and I do appreciate that. And I just hope that me sharing my journey is helpful to you. And I guess I'll say bye for now. Blessings to all. Now how do I save it? Ooh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I think, do I press this one? Let's see. Nope, not that one. Let's see something. Okay. Uh-oh, I don't know what to do. Something tells me that I might not be able to, I don't know, I might not be able to save it because it's not giving me an option. Okay. Oh, that's the camera. Okay, that's that. Let's see. Well, I don't know how to save this. So this might end up being I don't know. Because if I X out of it, I don't know if that's going to delete everything. I don't know. Let's see.